Tyler said, hey, everybody was gushing over the Ryan Coogler deal, but been there, done that.
Yeah, I put him
did that 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode. Please like the video and subscribe. Our target is only 1,000 likes. Okay, while the dominance of last year's Oppenheimer showed that big films will forever have their place at the Oscars, the Academy has increasingly gravitated towards the smaller movie. Back in 2017, Moonlight became the Best Picture winner with the smallest ever budget, about $1.5 million. And since then, films like Coda, Parasite, and Nomadland have continued to bring indie films back to the main stage. This year, blockbusters like Wicked and Dune Part 2 might have scored major nominations, but they had to settle for below-the-line wins, typically where bigger budget films have now tended to remain. The films that won above the line, such as Anora, The Brutalist, A Real Pain, relied on campaigns that stressed the importance of making a lot from a little, and it meant that the night was ultimately another success story for independent filmmaking.
Mother be saying she watched the pod. I'm like, oh, you heard me say certain stuff?
Wow. I have a question for you, Kev.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, I'm going to ask it.
Yeah.
So some church people now are, what's the word? Not sassy, but some church people hide behind the veil of the church and get their shit off. Like, in the church, rest in peace to our Pastor Ron, but in the church, if you sit in the back, you'll hear how they really talking about some of the people in the church.
Yeah.
So my question to you is about Tyler Perry.
Okay.
No.
What? Wait, threw me off, nigga. He gave all the context clues.
Tyler Perry recently sat down with Kirk Franklin. He sat down with, I think Jeezy was there.
And it was someone else, dude from Big Days.
Yeah, and they were having a really great conversation, and in which Tyler said, hey, everybody was gushing over the Ryan Coogler deal, but been there, done that.
Yeah, I put him
did that 20 years ago. Yeah. I taught him how to do it. I just did it quiet, but I mean, you got to give. And then he did the whole church thing. He does it. Tyler Perry's the best at this shit. And then he went back into the church. Now you got to give the message and share and yada. But I feel like I heard the shade.
The shade towards Ryan?
Just not toward Ryan, but just shade in the message. It was shade in that message, right?
Or it could be shade in like y'all highlighting this when I been did this and nobody highlighted it. It could just be shade there. Like, why you getting the attention for some shit that I been did?
Yeah, but he didn't need to do that.
No, he didn't need to, but that's where the shade.
He also didn't make it public. So if you gave
He did make it public.
No, he did now. Tyler made it public now when he was speaking to them about, but you didn't make it public before that, and you told Ryan behind the scenes for him to have the information doing his own. So now that he do it, why you feel like you need to get the credit for that?
Because
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Like, you did it quietly, continue to be quiet about it, and move along.
Because I know that's your man, but I would like to hear.
Wait, is the question what does the church have to do with it?
No. Just
why did he do that?
Or did you hear the shade in that?
I didn't hear the shade. I think it's actually interesting. It's an interesting point of view. I didn't really hear the shade or take it as shade. Tyler is usually pretty open about, like, I made the most millionaires. I've hired the most black people. So to me, I went and got these actors who hadn't been working and put them on, like the dude from the Cosby Show when he was working at Trader Joe's. Tyler would go and put you in a movie right away. He's actually put some influences on as well. So to me, that was just Tyler's consistently like, here's what I've done. You know what I'm saying? The Ryan Coogler thing is interesting because, he has had those deals, but I've always heard like Tyler did those first 10 episodes of Meet the Browns and then the network bought him. Like, I've always heard it like that. I think Ryan's thing was, that's not usually done at that scale for that type of thing, right? Tyler came in independent. Right, he partnered with Lionsgate. He came in, $4 million, made 40. That's always been his story. But Ryan was like traditional studio model with Fruit Val, with Black Panther, with Creed. They're not giving you no points off nothing. So then to get, first dollar gross is, you can't even lie. Like, back end participation, them studios can charge anything they want. They can charge y'all. Like, I worked at a company. You would be surprised how creative accounting can get when you don't want to pay somebody. We charging myself.
I let it go. It was right there.
Oh, man.
It's right there.
Can you say that again?
Oh my
Kev, thank you for coming today, man.
Wow.
This has been
You dropping knowledge, right?
Yo.
But in
dropping that
Hollywood, bro, they not like they charging the light bulb, the lunch, the secretary, you know, the assistant who works, your assistant who might order lunch for the star. They now charging her whole salary for the day to the project. Like now, nothing made no money, right? But first dollar gross means the moment somebody buys a ticket to Sinners, Ryan gets a percentage of that. You cannot hide that type of money.
Yeah.
So that part of the deal, I haven't heard. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but I haven't heard Tyler get that part of the deal. So maybe, you know, because even Ryan was like, he was big on what Christopher Nolan's, you know, helped him negotiate. I don't know if that was the IMAX or the deal part, but Nolan be getting those things. But again, it's not always the same for black people and white people in Hollywood, especially with back-end participation. But no, I didn't take it as shade. I was pretty consistent with what I've heard from Tyler over the years. But just specific to that deal was like, oh, I didn't know. Maybe in part because nobody knew he did it and he brought it up. But I haven't heard that dialogue about people like, if you was helping him, why didn't you just help him?
Why we saying it down? Just do it.
Yeah.
Church people got that righteous shade that they. It's a little bit.
Black people have that.
Yeah,
Right.
Yes.
Black people have.
It just look different in the church. Though.
Yeah.
That's because you expect.
Do you think it's because people expect church people to be different?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because they say they are.
Yeah. I think that's the biggest thing. Church people are no different than any other people.
Of course.
You're right. And like and I do agree with you. Like church people can be shady. We can put on like the whole PK thing. We expect the pastor's kids to be better than our kids, right? Your kid can have 6 kids out of wedlock, same age as the pastor's son. He kisses somebody.
But if TD Jakes' kid has
Yeah,
a baby, it's
right.
like the world's acting like the world's
The
on
world's
fire.
acting crazy, but that was not really uncommon in America nor the church.
Yeah.
But we think because TD Jakes has a daughter, his daughter should be special and different and perfect. But the Bible talks about none of us are perfect. No, you know, all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. But I think as people, we put those people on pedestals and the expectation. But church people are just people, man.
So where do you fall on Hulk Hogan's death?
Ooh, I think it's a case of multiple things are true at one time. It is absolutely true that Hulk Hogan changed the game of wrestling. He was the biggest superstar. He made it bigger than it ever was. Also, in the same breath, the reason wrestlers don't have unions is also because of Hulk Hogan. Before we even get to the race stuff.
Yeah.
So he made it bigger, but he also stunted the business.
He made it bigger for him.
He made it bigger for him. Bigger for everybody as a result, but he made it so that he ate more than everybody else. As a wrestler, wrestlers don't really are on record for not liking Hulk Hogan. He didn't want to put people over for a long time. So just as a wrestler, only as a wrestler, it's murky. And then race-wise, obviously the stuff he said about black people, it's so interesting how people want, when you die, a lot of people just want you to talk about the positive part of your legacy. Your legacy is the totality of you, not just the good and not just the bad.
Because we have that talk up here a lot when people pass, right?
Yeah.
And it normally splits the room in how we feel, but this is important.
Your legacy is the totality of who you are, right? For all intents and purposes, I have, for the most part, a good rep right now, right? If I were to die right now, with no smut on my name, people be like, man, Kev is a solid dude. If all of a sudden in 10 years, I start cheating people out of deals, start pushing babies down, punching dogs or something, I'm consistently doing that. People who love dogs be like, man, that dude used to punch dogs. It don't matter that he used to hire black people, like, he used to punch dogs. Like, Mike Vick, who I love, his legacy also includes the dog part. Now, black people, if you, depending on how you feel, you may
I don't
forgive.
think that's fair.
But it's true though.
It's true.
Yeah.
But who made it true?
But what if I'm a super dog lover?
If you're a super dog lover,
I am a super dog lover.
Right, not really like white people level super dog lover, like dogs over people kind
It's
of person.
unforgivable.
I'm
It's like
that. I don't know if you know that.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay,
I am that.
Then if you stood up and said I got issue with this thing, and I'm mentioning it at times, I don't think that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? I don't think you have to do that. There are plenty of people that die that I don't speak of their worst moments, but I don't get mad at people who do if their legacy impacted them in that way.
So there's nothing you can do within that time to your passing to at least redeem or kind of like mend some of that over.
Well, I think you can. That's why I don't reduce people to their worst moment. Like if Hulk Hogan had one day said some racist shit, and that's all he did, I wouldn't say anything about it on his death. I probably would just mind my.
It's just continuous.
But when you have a pattern of harm, I don't think it's wrong for the people who were harmed. That's why I used Ronald Reagan's example last week. Black people don't have to pretend Ronald Reagan wasn't a monster when he dies. I think we have every right to say something about it. You know, at some point, I mean, I hate that you go to the extreme example, but Hitler was a really bad dude.
Yeah.
I don't think people have to be quiet when he dies and be like, you know what, for this week we just not gonna say nothing.
Yeah. Queen of England, bro, like the English people love her.
Yeah.
But all the black English people don't feel so strong.
Exactly.
And people who live in the colonies that they were still over, who got independence from them in their lifetime, they did not feel bad when she died.
Yeah, right.
She's not a positive person to me. And I think black people, I feel like our emotions are policed more than other people.
Yes.
But Hulk Hogan didn't rock with black people ever. I've seen that he said racist stuff recent. Like he didn't, he
Like
never
last
really
week.
stopped.
Yeah,
like
last week,
last
right.
week. Like he's,
Let me tell you something, brother.
Allegedly something to like a waiter called a waiter nigga or something like that. So it's like, and also I don't think he ever showed that remorse.
Right.
Like Mike Vick did. Like he did his time in prison. He did all this stuff, changed ways. But Hulk Hogan never really did that stuff. So I understand when people are like, I'm not letting him off the hook. And also it's the internet. People are more forward with what they say on the internet than they would actually be in real life. Especially if you're just tweeting it, like there's no consequences. So I think that gives us it's a misrepresentation of how people act face to face.
I think that's
you know
right.
What I'm saying? I think the internet, you get the jokes off, you don't feel bad, but you wouldn't necessarily say that in real life.
I'm seeing a lot of people say that for them, Hulk Hogan died a long time ago.
Yes.
Like the idea of Hulk Hogan was dead about 10 years ago. So I can understand why now people feel so adamant about wanting to speak so loudly about why he died 10 years ago to them.
Kazim said that thing. Cass said something similar. He said he felt the same way about Bill Cosby. Like, for a lot of us, he was perfect. The model, the Cosby Show, and you know, a lot of people, when he passes away, it's going to be the same thing. Like, he did a lot for black people, did a lot for scholarships. I went to college because of A Different World. Just because that show existed, I was like, dang, this looks like fun. I want to go to college. That was the biggest impact on me because my family didn't go to college. Like, Hillman College made me want to go to college. But then he also was doing other stuff. At the same time, he was making A Different World.
He stole that idea too.
See what I mean? Now that was the one good thing I still had left. I didn't even know that stuff.
I'm not saying he did. I don't know that story. So I'm part of it.
Technically, he stole the idea of Different World from School Days.
I didn't even hear that.
Yeah.
Dang.
Me neither. He might just be freestyling.
No, I'm dead serious. I'm serious. No, the production, the casting, directing, everything, he stole her, brought her over because
okay. I get you. He was inspired by it and hired the. I guess it's a little different.
he stole.
Tomato, tomato.
Inspiration, man.
The Different World School Days wasn't necessarily the same.
No.
I can see how if you see School Days and it's about to drop and do it.
Oh, like black people in college.
Yeah, you can 100% take that idea and try to run it and turn it to your own shit.
But I think if Hulk Hogan had a heart attack at 50 and died 20 years ago, the way people talk about him would be totally different.
That's literally what I
all
said.
that stuff started coming out as the internet.
Yeah, if the steroids that killed him in the 80s or 90s, he'd have been a whole different person.
Because all them other people who died, Macho Man, like them stories, I don't know that he did anything, but those stories.
Oh no, Macho Man was a monster too. Ask Miss Elizabeth and Lex Luger. They both used to treat Miss Elizabeth bad.
I just found The Ultimate Warrior was terrible like 2 weeks ago.
He was worse than Hulk Hogan. Me and him used to argue. He was a diehard racist.
The Ultimate Warrior?
Yes.
I just found that out.
Which one?
He was a big Fox News watcher.
Which
and so he was the
Only
Ultimate
one
Warrior.
Ultimate Warrior.
There's only one.
There's only
Jim
one.
The Ultimate Warrior used to literally call me after like Fox News Bill O'Reilly appearances and like argue with me about why black people are fucked up.
Wow.
Yeah.
The Ultimate Warrior.
The Ultimate Warrior. He was shaking the rope. Yeah, Ultimate Warrior. Body slam Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 5. Yes.
What about Ravishing Rick Rude?
Didn't really know him, but
Now
there's that video of him pretending to eat the girl out while he's carrying her across the stage without consent.
Doink the Clown was cool.
Yes.
Is Undertaker good, man?
Undertaker's good money.
Undertaker's good money. That should be good.
Leap and Lanny Poffo, you're good.
Undertaker, he
big. I think he's a little MAGA.
He's a little MAGA.
They're all MAGA.
We just be like, just don't say nothing.
Don't play. The WWF was racist.
Wait, we're not fucking with people because they MAGA?
Don't play with Undertaker.
That's why I said I might be counting that.
Oh, okay.
Because you start counting everybody who's MAGA, then that's the whole.
I gotta get rid of some of my Puerto Rican friends. That's mad now.
And at least one cast member here who voted for Trump.
You keep saying that, and I think
because it's true.
I think you're trolling when you say that.
I think he is.
Okay.
You know, I almost thought to call you and say, "Hey, man,
Who is it?
was you trolling the
If
other
you had called me, I'd
day?"
have told you who it was.
Say word.
I'll tell you.
then I'm
Wait,
definitely
you know
calling.
for sure somebody.
They told me.
Are
What
you
the fuck
joking?
They might have been lying to you though.
No. No, they weren't. I promise you they weren't.
They was
Why would somebody confide in you that works up here?
Because they know I wouldn't tell them who it was. They know my word is sacrosanct.
Okay, they're
What
on
you
the
gonna tell
cast.
me?
Well, I'm telling you.
They're on the cast, or they just work up here.
They have a microphone.
Oh shit!
Nah, they're fired. They're getting out of
Oh,
here.
you know that I'm not telling you.
Nah, ain't
Now,
nobody
you
fired.
maybe not.
I would do that. Nobody's fired. And I believe that. I believe that. I do believe somebody.
Trying to do
voted
the-
for
I don't
Trump.
believe. I
I thought you were talking about
somebody.
somebody. I thought you were talking about someone off camera before.
You thought it was Keeb?
No.
It was Corey.
Oh yeah, actually. You think Corey voted?
Corey don't got to vote.
Corey can't vote.
Corey, 3-time felon.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
one more strike. and he's out of here.
He one strike away from that.
I was trying to say, for the people that are unfamiliar with you watching, give me your start. What was your start? What's your big break?
Whew. You know, that's so interesting, man. I don't even know how to like encapsulate it as one moment. I've never had like the Tiffany Haddish girls trip. You're out of here. I don't have that like one thing. I've had like viral videos, but it never felt like something changed immediately. I feel like I've just been steadily, making videos. Like I did a Nehu video that went viral. What happened to Nehu? And I found all the Nehus in 90s R&B.
Remember that?
Yeah, but that didn't I still had to go to work for 2 years after that.
When did you start seeing more people at the comedy tour?
Oh, I guess when I first went on tour for myself, I guess that's probably the moment. 2017, I was on tour with 4 other people and a promoter. This is something I talk about in my book, Successful Failure, coming out September 23rd. He made a grave mistake with me, and he didn't realize he made it. He was paying 4 of us, and we were splitting half the take 4 different ways, and he kept the other half. And all he did was rent a venue and book the flights and book the hotel, something like that. And we were doing a show in Houston, Dallas, and San Antonio. I'll never forget. And he sent us the numbers.
Oh, I was about to say the email.
He sent us the
mistake
numbers
email.
of like how many tickets we were selling. And it was like, we were getting like $6,000 a show. And at that time in my life, I was like, this is crazy. Somebody's giving me $6,000 a night. Like, I started off getting $0 for years. When I was at Nate Jackson, happy. Shout out Nate Jackson, Super Funny Comedy Club. This is no shade. I needed stage time more than money at that time. He let me do 20 minutes for 2 years. I developed the most as a comedian at the time. Never cared about money. He eventually paid me. But it was $50 to $100 to $200. For years, I made $500. So all of a sudden, I'm getting $6,000 a night. So coming home with, $12,000, I'm like, this is crazy. I'm going to my wife like, man, we made $15,000 this month for 3 shows and a tour. And we were going to Houston and Dallas, which to this day are some of my biggest markets. And he was like, but San Antonio wasn't selling well. And San Antonio still never sells well. That's why I don't come here. I'm sorry, y'all. And he was like, just get San Antonio up to just Dallas and look how much y'all will make. And I saw how much the numbers were at once. It was like $40,000. And I'm like, hold on now, wait. He's keeping half of this for renting the church and giving us some chicken and buying a flight? Like, he needs us to market it, right? Without us, he can't market the show.
Right.
Back in the day, I get it. Like, you was getting James Brown, or not James Brown because he did it himself, but they're flying you, marketing, buying the radio, like you couldn't do it by yourself. But I'm like, he needs us to market this, to sell this out. I don't even need to sell this many tickets to make more than $6,000. If I can get the venue for $1,000 or $2,000 and I can get this whole thing,
Do it yourself here.
I can do it myself, especially if you need me to market. And he needed all of us, but I'm like, I know at that time I couldn't sell what all 3 or 4 of us could sell together.
Right.
But I don't need to.
Nope.
Because I don't have to split it
You're not
with y'all.
splitting it now.
Yeah, if I can pay a flat fee and get a good deal on the churches, and I got good relationship with the churches. I'm getting churches for $1,000 at that time. $1,000, and I sell 800 tickets, 900 tickets, bro. I'm good. Yeah. So I did that tour, finished that out, and that was the last time I toured where somebody paid me. From that moment on, and we went from, at that time we were selling out maybe 300 seats, and I was like, this is crazy. We're selling 300 tickets. They were selling out all over the place. Then 300 became 600, 600 became 1,000, and this last tour we did like 3,000 in Brooklyn, we did 3,000 in London.
Oh, come on, stop playing.
Yeah, it was like
Stop playing.
crazy. Now at the same time, I gotta bear the whole weight of all those flights and hotels, and if it doesn't do well, like those are the good shows. I'm not talking about the Kansas City, $712 when I'm running discounted tickets and I don't make that. You know what I'm saying? So it ebbs and flows, but that's probably the biggest thing for me is going out on tour by myself, because that allowed me the money that I, saved to make Churchy, because the first time I made Churchy, me and my wife paid for it ourselves. And then we licensed it to BET. So that was a lot of comedy shows, a lot of Spectrum commercials, saving all that money. And I think that allowed me to get into media the way I wanted to versus having to wait for somebody else to, pick up my show and stuff like that. So I think that probably the biggest thing was that tour, 2018, the Real Comedians of Social Media.
Is that guy taping our whole show?
No, he's getting like some clips.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He was watching for 20, 30 minutes. Yeah, he's just making a vlog for my picture. No.
Hey,
turn it off, man. Just put it down. Put it down for the rest.
Normally when them niggas come with the side cam, they tape the whole show. It drop before we drop.
Car on the way.
Yo, what the fuck?
Niggas put the whole shit out.
I wouldn't even mess up the air schedule. That's why I always ask when y'all air. But he's just doing a vlog for my Patreon.
Speak to me about. Damn, Mark is not here on that episode. I wasn't here.
Man, he left.
Y'all got. He'll be right back. He does what he wants up here.
Okay.
Mark, somehow it got to Mark talking about how important his wife is to him, and like the moment they met and how he knew it was love. How y'all bodied that. When I watch your clips and your wife happens to pop in the frame, I'd be like, that's the key. That it looked like it comes off like, again, like the planner and the thinker and behind the scenes, behind every strong black man, it comes off like if there's ever a time where you hang in your head or just self-doubt, or it looks like the great orator is there to just dispel. Speak to me about how important that role is and the fact that that's your wife that does it. I think it's amazing.
Bruh, thank you for noticing
Absolutely
that.
Fire.
It is outside of like marketing and the other stuff I was saying about me, my biggest differentiator is her. 1000%.
Love it.
Brilliant business mind. Brilliant. And more than business, her gut, her instinct is more sure than mine. I'm so ambitious, I will bogart and make it. She'd be like, something's off about this. And she has never in any business dealing ever said something's off about this
and been wrong.
And been wrong. Mm-hmm. Even if and it's always, not only she been wrong, eventually whatever she thought, she might not even know, but it would be like, dang, that's what it was. Just something about him, something about her, something about this deal feels off. And I'm ambitious, I'm stubborn. She'll be like, she'll know when to lean into that or when I'm tripping. You know what I'm saying? Going to a meeting like, Kev, you should lay back, or you should be aggressive. Don't send the email, do this. And then just also, I think for me, I don't waste energy with other women. I think creatively,
It's a big one.
I don't waste. I'm allowed to be creative because it's just her. I'm not trying to juggle different women.
I'm clapping
I don't
up for
lie.
that.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm
Like,
clapping up for that.
I firmly believe.
See, that's where I'm just saying.
I'm coming home. Like I'm on the first flight on the road. I want to get home to the kids, the dog.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm focused, but like to your point, and honestly, I couldn't have been a stand-up comedian without her. Like she was, when I got fired from my job, she was the job. She was the healthcare. She watched the boys because I'm a father first.
He making having a wife sound fire.
Nah, he don't play.
She was like legit everything. Like I would have been better off if I listened to her all the time. I don't listen to her all the time. I've made some mistakes. Some have cost me hundreds of thousands of dollars. One deal where I didn't listen to her, her gut was like, we should pay, like for the first one of these productions we were doing, we were talking to the person, we were like, we'll take over financing. And my wife was like, nah, Kev, we shouldn't do that. And I was like, well, we ain't never done it. Like, I don't even know how to do that. She was like, I'd rather us figure out how to do it than to give that up. And I like 3 times, she was like, we should not do it like this. And I didn't listen. And I got beat out of a good amount of money, right? And I can't legally say they stole it. I can only legally say there has not been an accurate budget account for all the funds this person had. Had I just listened to her, though,
you wouldn't have been in that
position. Yeah. But now, that was the last time. That was the last time I ever did that. Like, we had talked about stuff, like, we don't agree, we'll talk about it till we come to a plan, but I've never stepped over her since that
Again.
moment. Never since that moment.
Lesson learned.
she's lesson learned.
Oh, yeah.
But she's like super sharp, super smart, super funny. Content wise, some of my best videos are her ideas. Sometimes I'll ask her, hey, is this video timing wise? Can I post this? She's like, you can't make that joke, or you can make that joke. You know what I'm saying? So just to bounce stuff off of her, like that's probably my most secret power outside of like being a hustler and marketer and businessman. I have another person who's equally, or if not smarter than me, who is there, you know, to give me advice. She's like a consigliere. She's like a mob boss's right hand man. Like she goes to war. And in our marriage, when we was writing this book, I realized she was like, I don't want you, because I'm black man. I want to provide for my wife. I want to protect you. She was like, I don't want you to put me up in this castle to protect me. And you go on the battlefield. If we're on the battlefield, we're on the battlefield. You got a sword, I got a sword. We should be back to back fighting.
Us
You
against
don't
the
need to
world.
be out there taking this alone. Like, I want to be out there with you. And I'm like, but I'm a man. She was like, yeah, but I'm telling you, like, this is not how I want our relationship to be. I want to be out there with you. If we take the L, we take the L together. She's never said, I told you so if we agree.
That was my next question. Has she ever hit you with the I told you so, even when that deal lost on you?
Never.
That's fine.
She's had me dead to rights on I told you so. Sometimes the most powerful I told you so is we both know she could have said
Just
it.
be quiet.
Yeah,
Just
and
just
she don't even
silence.
have to like
Yeah.
when that person got away with that bread.
Yep.
You don't gotta say, you don't have to be shady. We both know. If you would have just listened, she's just in there making breakfast. Good morning.
Like everything all good.
Right.
Like,
You don't gotta say nothing.
I ain't gotta say nothing.
I ain't gotta say nothing for the rest of our life. We both know. Right? But she's never, even when I got fired in my, like, to your point about confidence, when I got fired back in Washington, I was a shell of myself for a minute. Cause like I had always worked, I'd always been good at everything. When I got fired, I'm like, I'm not good at something. And I had previously been like seller of the quarter. And now I'm getting fired in the economic downturn. I don't have a job. I got to go to Labor Ready. I felt like a Tyler Perry movie. I had to take my sons to the job place. A bus drove by, splashed me with water. I'm like, nigga, this is unreal. Like I have my sons in here. Y'all sit down. I got to talk to the man, do the paperwork. Stuff wasn't even online yet. Like I got to do the unemployment stuff
in
at
person.
the place.
Yeah.
Right? I got to take that L. And I was like, I ain't going on no unemployment. She was like, who ain't what? Like, brother, you got to put that ego to the side. Like, we got bills to pay. But she never was like making fun of me, beating me down, none of that stuff. Like, she really held me down. So that's why when we come up, it's not like I'm up now. It's like we've risen and fallen together.
You can't stunt on that person.
No,
You can't. There is no such thing as a stunt on that person.
no. That we're a team. I feel like I'm the
Sound like you,
quarterback.
about to
Who's the
say, it
left
sound like
tackle.
you got a partner. Like a real partner.
A real partner.
What you
Like
really look
that's
for.
my wife, my friend, and in this business too in Hollywood, you know, and in this industry, you never know who's like friend for real,
Who's in it for the wrong reasons?
who's in it for the wrong
Yep.
reason, who's just hanging around to eventually ask you for something. I'm not even saying that's wrong, right? But you got to have somebody, a group of people who you know that
Got
if
you.
we lost everything, if I was no longer Kev on stage and I had to work at a grocery store or Uber or, you know, a trash man, whatever I had to do.
Right there with
you'd be
you.
like, well, nigga, when we was up though.
Yeah, we
you know
do
what I'm saying?
together.
So I got your lunch when you come home, but we ain't up no more. You know what I'm saying? So I think that really sets me apart from a lot of people.
What'd she say when you told her you was coming up here?
She was excited.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. She actually told me, she was like, Kev, she told me when I hit it, I was like, I'm gonna hit Joe. She was like, I think he might respond. She was like, I think you downplay who you are. Like, even if he says we're busy or we can't do it, she's like, I don't think he'll leave you on red. Like, I need you to.
Look, is she right about that?
Yeah.
Right again.
Yeah. And I didn't know, like, I never asked for nothing. Like that Kevin Hart Issa Rae clip, I don't know if y'all saw that, where Issa was saying she don't want to ask for help. I saw that and I was like, dang, and Kevin Hart was like, no, ask. You never know who you might do. Like, change my life. And then my homegirl Nina Parker said, there's no award.
Hey, Nina, that's my people.
Yeah,
Shout
Nina
out to
Parker.
Nina. We love Nina.
Solid. She was like, there's no award for doing something with no help. And I was like, dang.
Can I? Because you said you moved to LA. When did you move to LA?
I moved to LA in 2013,
What was your? Because I'm not sure where you came from, but what
Washington State.
Okay.
It's set to come.
Yeah.
Okay. So what was your experience just in that move? I moved to LA for a little bit and I hated the experience.
Really?
Yeah, it's cool.
Well, he put all his energy in his wife, he said.
Yeah, it was a little
He
different.
said he wasn't
you know.
spreading it
Let's
around.
let's have a good conversation, guys.
And the
Let's do
boys
that.
random
Let's focus on
He
that.
works in film though, so it's a slightly different thing.
Well, I mean, entertainment you feel is entertainment.
Yeah,
At the end of the day,
yeah,
you
yeah.
still kind of deal with the same nonsense.
Yeah.
But how was your adjustment from going from Tacoma to
The biggest adjustment for me that made it tough, we both worked at Boeing at the time before we moved.
At Boeing?
At Boeing, the Boeing company.
Airplanes?
Okay.
Airplanes. Yeah.
Oh, you see some shady shit. You went from Boeings to the entertainment industry.
Yeah, I'm about to
Holy
say.
shit.
Yeah, I was on the commercial side, she was on the defense side. Even at that time, she made more money than me, had a real job, and I was like, nigga, I can't believe I'm here. Like, I was watching YouTube videos at work. It's not why the planes fell. It had nothing to do with that. But it was, for us, we was really locked in as a family. Like, I wrote out a whole plan for how we were going to move, because this was still the housing crisis. Our house was upside down at the time, but it was smooth. But I think it was smooth because we had each other.